Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another webinar from your digital service squad here in Simcoe, South Georgian Bay. Um, Instagram for business is our topic this morning, and it's our first webinar of 2021. So thanks for joining us. Looks like we've got quite an audience this morning. So yeah, we're excited to take you through Instagram for business. Just quickly, a little bit of housekeeping. If you've been here before, you know the spiel that this program, the Digital Main Street program, is brought to you by FedDev Ontario, the Ontario government, as well as the Ontario BIA Association and the Toronto Association of BIAs. And here specifically in Simcoe, South Georgian Bay, the program is managed by the South Georgian Bay Small Business Enterprise Center. A lot of long titles in this spiel, but it's also received some generous funding and support from the County of Simcoe, as well as the town of Collingwood and the town of the Blue Mountains. And we're incredibly grateful for all of their support, and it's what makes this all possible, so that it's free to you, the businesses here in Simcoe, South Georgian Bay. And as I said, we're excited to take you through our webinar, teach you everything about using Instagram for business. And we're joined, by our fellow Digital Service Squad members and panelists. We've got Rochelle Reynolds going to take you through the presentation. And Karen Gibson from our team as well is also here to provide some creative input when it comes to graphic design, photography. That is two of Karen's specialties. So she's here to provide some input there. And with that in mind, or with that out of the way, I'm going to hand off to Rochelle to take it away with our Instagram for business.
All right, well, thank you, and Happy New Year, everybody. It's so great to have you all here, and I'm back again with all the social media stuff. So that's awesome. So that's me. Just to recap what Ben said and just expand upon it further for those of you who may be new and joining us for the first time. So Digital Main Street is an Ontario-wide support program dedicated to helping small businesses improve their online presence. Through the Digital Main Street program, we have some really cool opportunities like the Shop Here program, which is great for people who need help with their e-commerce. There's Future Proof, which is awesome at helping businesses kind of take what they're doing to the next level. So if you've been kind of a brick and mortar business for a long time and now you're really expanding and taking over the digital space, Future Proof is a great option for that. And then within our squad, within the squad itself, we offer free consultation services. You can come and see us anytime. We are standing by ready to help you with whatever you may need. And we also offer digital audits, which is a free assessment of your business's digital footprint. So your site, your socials, if you have blogs and stuff, we go in and we give you kind of a comprehensive analysis of that. So please don't be shy. We're here and we want to help. This is me. I'm Rochelle. And what I will say about this particular presentation is I'm going to be exposing myself today. I have kind of two tiers to this presentation. The first one is very much sort of the high level conceptual stuff, like just kind of talking you guys through the principles of Instagram and what's available, and then the specific kind of like business add-ons and business features that Instagram offers. And then the second half is a much more practical look. So I've actually recorded a bunch of tutorials from my personal Instagram page and just kind of showing you guys how the platform works in real time. So in exchange for that, in exchange for me showing you guys literally the guts of my personal Instagram profile, I would really appreciate if you guys could shoot me a follow. That would mean a lot to me. It would help grow my account. It would help bolster my confidence. So please give me a follow. That would be great. All right, now let's get into it. So Instagram. Now, as I said, this first half is going to be very high level. So some of this stuff you may already know. I totally appreciate that. Some of the people on this call may not know anything about Instagram. So we're going to really start from the bottom and work our way up. Alrighty. So Instagram itself, it is a social media platform dedicated to sharing photo and video content. Therein lies the principle behind Instagram. Instagram, for the most part, was generally skewing younger, especially when it first started up about, around 8 years ago or whenever it was, like 8 to 10 years, something like that. It really was kind of, for lack of a better word, the escape from Facebook for younger social media users who were tired of their parents getting onto Facebook and kind of infiltrating their private lives. That's how Instagram came into being. So for that reason, it is not the same as Facebook. And what I see with Instagram's growing popularity and more people getting onto it after being sort of dedicated Facebook users is there's this real push to try and like change it into something that it is not. There's a lot more sort of text being shared and all this sort of stuff. Like it's trying to turn into more of a just kind of like an information center. But that really isn't what Instagram is designed to do. It's designed to share great images and great videos that represent the users, their brand, their business, and whatnot. And so it's really important to remember that if you are an early adopter of Instagram, as in if you are just getting started with it. So Facebook, which is what most people are familiar with, that is designed to connect friends, family, networks, coworkers through the free and open sharing of information. That's why there are things like the Facebook groups and the events and the polls that you can take and the large capacity for status updates that involve a lot of information and stuff like that, because that is what Facebook is really geared towards. Instagram is about sharing the snapshots of life. So really think about it as your highlight reel more than anything else. Instagram for business in particular is generally designed to establish a brand's image and tell the brand's story visually. That is what it's mostly used for. However, that is changing because Instagram has become so popular and the behavior of Instagram users has changed so much. That's what's really exciting to track about Instagram for business is that there's a lot more opportunity opening up to turn Instagram into a full-on effective sales channel and part of your sales funnel versus just kind of that brand awareness component or that relationship building component. It really is kind of changing its spots, which is cool. All right. Thank you. Okie dokie. So this is the quick rundown of what the Instagram business profile features are. So there are things like insights, which I'm going to show you. So within the Instagram app, this is independent of having to go into any other sort of like analytics software or insight software. Right built into the app is a pretty effective and fairly comprehensive insights program. There's the shopping and the checkout. Now, I have talked about the shopping and checkout features in previous webinars, but just to give you like a quick, well, actually, no, I'm going to skip over that because I do have a slide later on that addresses that, so never mind. There are ads and you can run promoted posts. There are different contact options. So within kind of like your bio setup and everything, you can have different ways for people to reach you, and you can create action buttons. There's inbox management, and I give you a rundown of that as well. So that's the direct messaging feature. Something called quick replies, which is within that direct messaging feature. And then there are options for branded content approval and story links. So again, we will talk about all of that in future slides, but that's kind of the skeleton of what makes Instagram business different from Instagram personal.
And yeah, just if I may, if you're completely new to Instagram, I think it's important to note that to access all of these tools is to set up your business account, and really all that involves. I don't know if we're going to show people how to do that, but the settings. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But,
go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a simple process, but you do have to actually just kind of flip the switch to select a business profile in order to be able to access these tools. The other option is a creator profile, which we won't talk about, but that's specifically for people who want to be like an influencer and just create content for the sake of creating content and making that into a somewhat of a career for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great point. And yes, we do. As I say, this is sort of like the high level, high concept half, and then I do have a tutorial built into the presentation that will show you all that. It's really easy. It's not a thing about. It's not the same as like other things where you need to create a whole separate profile or anything. Like it really is, as Ben described, like the flick of a switch. Mm-hmm. And yes, you're right. To whoever left that note, yeah, quick replies is called instant replies, but it's the same thing.
And yeah, just a note too, just if you do have any questions, I didn't mention this off the top, but please feel free to drop them in the chat or in the Q&A, and we will answer them as we go.
Sweet. Oakley dokley, let's break into our Instagram toolkit. All right, so this is what Instagram is composed of in terms of the platform functions. So you have your feed posts, you have your stories, you have your highlights, your direct messaging, your IGTV, and your reels. Feed posts. This is what made Instagram's mark when Instagram first started. This really was basically the only thing that was available. It's the primary function of the app. It's where you share content along with a caption. This is where you put in all those hashtags, so those funny words that didn't make sense for a long time, and it's like, what's going on here? This was the function of hashtags, is to basically act as little coordinates, like almost like GPS coordinates for your post, to show people, okay, this is what this post is related to, therefore this is what the content of this account is most likely related to. Posts are saved to your Instagram account feed. Once it is posted, it becomes part of your followers' home feed. So what does that mean? It means that for all the people who are following your account, when they are just scrolling through Instagram, not their own profile, but the home page of Instagram, your post will come up as one of the posts within that feed. Because same with Facebook, it's like you see all your friends' posts. Basically, you can see what your friends and family have posted. You can always see what the people you are following are posting. There is also, it is also added to the hashtag content feed. So again, this is why hashtags are important, is if you are a beauty brand, for example, and you make a feed post that's all about your new line of blushes or something like that. If you do hashtag blush, hashtag cosmetics, hashtag beauty, hashtag Insta beauty, like anything like that, then your post will then be populated within the feed for that entire hashtag. So basically, anyone in the world who has tagged something with hashtag beauty and whatnot, their post is going to be added to that content feed. So that's important for customer discovery. If people are searching through that hashtag, then they'll be more likely to find you and your content if you have tagged your post with a relevant hashtag. This is the thing, feed posts do exist forever. So once you make a feed post, then it's up there, but you can manually delete them. So, if there's something wrong, if a post is, I don't know, like if something happens accidentally, you post something that you didn't mean to, or whatever it happens to be, you can correct that. It's not a total panic session. And you can also edit your posts. So this happens to me all the time. I'll release something and I'm big into like writing and writing, editing, all of that sort of stuff. And I go absolutely crazy if I see anything remotely wrong with any kind of grammar or syntax or anything like that. So I'm frequently editing posts that I've released that maybe came out with a weird autocorrect typo or something like that. So there are saving graces within that. So why feed posts? Feed posts are essentially your brand's calling card. When people find your account, this is what they will be looking at first. So when they find something that interests them, like maybe it's a single post, maybe they just sort of stumble across your account, they're going to check out that feed that is on your profile, and they're going to basically get a snapshot of who you are and what you're all about. So you want to make sure that that feed is accurately representing your business and your brand.
I would say, you know, I always tell folks that your feed, it's important to think of as, you know, you're kind of going out, your professional look. It's lots of, you know, as Michelle put it, images, good looking images of people, your staff, your products, what have you. If you find the need or the desire to post a lot of text heavy graphics and stuff, consider some of the other options like highlights and or stories, highlights and reels, which we'll talk about shortly.
Mm-hmm.
I think of the whole thing, sorry to interrupt, but think of the whole thing as like a shortened version of a business card, or an extended version of a business card,
Right.
I would say. So it's all the information that your company wants to portray to its followers and clients.
Visually.
Visually.
Yeah.
Alrighty, now the stories. Now the cool thing about stories is they really have changed the game of Instagram. So when Instagram first introduced them, I remember there was a lot of skepticism. Like, people really didn't understand what it was for. Like, it took a long time for people to really jump onto the stories train. But my goodness, how times have changed. Now I can attest from research that has been conducted from my own personal usage of the Instagram app, and from anecdotal evidence from you know, my friends, my followers, people who I know who are actively using the app. Now people are using Instagram more for the stories than for anything else. Like, the behavior really has changed. So stories are a great thing to be a part of. The thing about stories is this: they only exist for 24 hours. So they serve a very different purpose than your feed posts. They do not show up in your feed posts. Again, when we get to the more practical component, I will show you where the stories live. They are indicated by your highlighted profile photo. So if you are on Instagram, all those circles that you see along the top of all the people that you're following, and they're all highlighted either pink or green, those indicate, oh, these people have added to their story. That's what that means. Within stories, there are features like swipe ups, links, and post redirects that are available. So specifically with reference to Instagram for Business, this is a great thing because you can tag products. I didn't mention, but you can tag products in feed posts as well, but I do get into that when we move to the shop section. So yeah. But within stories itself, within stories themselves, you can advertise products. You can basically promote new posts and stuff that you've got going on, and basically enable it so that people can tap on your story to take them to your most recent feed post. And there are lots of fun add-ons. So you can do things like frames, you can add GIFs, you can put location tags and hashtags in, you can tag different people in it. It's a really great way to basically humanize your brand a little bit more. That is what stories primarily does. So as it says down there, while your feed posts are your calling cards, your stories are your brand's heart and soul. This is a fact. Instagram users will watch stories for hours on end for personal entertainment. It is basically a constant stream of entertaining visual stimulation, because people are sharing glimpses into their everyday lives. They're sharing kind of like fun facts and updates going on with their business. It's a great way for people to learn about kind of the latest and greatest things happening in someone's life or in a business's lifespan. So yeah, people really do tune into those. And most people generally feel more connected to brands who are regularly adding to their stories for that reason. They feel like they have a bit more of a personal connection. And this is especially if the story provides a glimpse behind the scenes of a brand's daily activities. Now, there is a distinction here. So if you follow a bunch of enormous brands, like, you know, I'm talking like Nike and Gymshark and all these like massive players in the social media world / in the like e-commerce world in general, their stories are going to look a little bit different than, say, small business stories, and that's okay. Bigger brands don't want to kind of lift the curtain or like remove that veneer of their brand's identity.
Oh no, Rochelle seems to have frozen. We'll give that a minute, let her catch up. But I guess just to finish her thought, that yeah, I agree that when it comes to stories, a lot of big brands, they don't usually use it in the same way that a lot of small businesses use it. They still try and push a lot of very clean, branded, well polished content, whereas I think it's okay. What Rochelle was getting at is that it's okay to post more of the
Hello, I think I'm back.
Yes.
I hate my computer.
Oh, that's a bummer. But I was just kind of mentioning, so I think what you were getting at was that it's okay for brands and sometimes more, it's almost better to post that kind of rougher, more behind the scenes, kind of real image of your business, as opposed to that more refined advertising that you see from big brands, right? Is that what you're kind of getting at?
Yes, that is exactly what I was getting at is you know, if you are following those bigger brands and everything, then stories are going to look a little different than what I've just described. But what I'm really touching on is what small businesses, small to medium-sized businesses can capitalize on, which is people who corner their local market, people who are not necessarily advertising on an international scale 100% of the time, right? That's where that kind of behind the scenes look and that more off the cuff, like welcome into our lives kind of angle really works successfully.
So, yeah, I noticed people really do come forward to you if you are on, you show a more personal side of your business, like a behind the scenes. Here are the people that work here. This is what we do. This is the process, because people will engage with that more so on a personal level.
Yeah. All righty. Next up is highlights. Alrighty, so rule of thumb with highlights is this. All highlights are stories, but not all stories are highlights. So essentially, a highlight is a story that you deliberately save and relabel into your feed. So highlights permanently exist, the same as your feed posts do. But like feed posts, they can be manually deleted and you can keep adding to them. So what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of businesses basically have highlight categories. So they'll do products, services, testimonials, I don't know, like clients of the month, something like that. They'll have all these different categories and they can keep repopulating that highlight with additional information. So basically, yeah, that's how it works. It's like your showstopper catalog. All right, why highlights? Well, as the name suggests, the highlights feature is there to draw viewers' attention to what you feel is the most important aspect of your brand. The cool thing about highlights is it really is that double-edged sword kind of thing. Like it's kind of like that 1-2 punch. It gives people the same sort of like personal and visceral connection to your brand and that relationship building quality that stories encapsulates. And it also brings in the polish, the finesse, and the poise of your feed posts that really represents your brand in the best way possible. Yes, remember that highlights are permanent unless deleted manually. So generally highlights are not suitable for in the moment content. Save that for your regular stories. But if there's something that's part of your story that really is just like, you know, you really need to feature that. It's just wonderful. And it has something to do with the longevity of your brand a little bit more, then yes, absolutely save that to a highlight. Next up, IGTV. IGTV is Instagram's answer to YouTube. This is the only place within the app that allows for long form video. And unfortunately, by Instagram's definitions, long form video is anything above 60 seconds. It's one of the gripes that I have with Instagram personally. I hate the fact that if I'm uploading a video that happens to be 1 minute and 2 seconds, suddenly it has to turn into an IGTV post. Like that frustrates me to no end, but that is how they've got it. Like that's how they've organized it, and that's what it is. Essentially what happens if you are adding to IGTV is you will have an IGTV channel opened up under your Instagram account. There's no extra step with that. Like, it's not like you have to enable that or anything like that. It exists for everybody. It's basically just sort of not active unless you add to it. Why IGTV? Is the only opportunity within Instagram to feature longer video content. There's an opportunity to really go ham, as the youth say, on the high production value. So you'll see that a lot of brands will really pull out all the stops for their IGTV videos, like well edited, professionally scripted, you know, like high quality video content that doesn't really have as much of a place elsewhere on the app, again, unless it's under 60 seconds. And okay, so yes, technically you can upload video content that's longer than 60 seconds to your stories, but I don't recommend that. It never looks right. It's always jumpy, and there are always issues with parts of it not uploading properly. So then your video is like missing a section and stuff. Like it's a flawed system that way. So that's why Instagram TV is really useful. And one thing that I'll say is, if you are getting into IGTV, I think that's great. I think absolutely experiment with that and see how you can leverage it for your business. But do keep formatting in mind. Another pet peeve of mine that I see is a lot of brands will have like a really nice you know, testimonial video or a nice sort of like long form promo or something. And they'll basically just repurpose it on IGTV, but it's been formatted for their website, or it's been formatted for Facebook or YouTube or something else. And so basically the whole video is just like shrunken down. It's just like this tiny little thing. The thing about IGTV is that it is formatted to play basically like along the entire dimension of your screen, sort of thing, the same way that a story does, right? And so yeah, just keep that in mind if you are getting into IGTV. It's best to format it so that it fits that screen properly. Otherwise it just looks kind of weird and shrunken.
Yeah, I'm also not a fan of just turning a horizontal video, you know, on its side, so that it's going against what IGTV and Instagram itself is sort of designed for, and how it's used. And I know, like, even, you know, as you said, like, brands and businesses are constantly trying to just force people's behavior, but it just doesn't work. Mm-hmm. I would say don't try it. Go with the flow. Cater to, you know, what that app is designed for. I would say the other thing too, I didn't know for a long time, and I was an avid IGTV user, and I learned long after you posting many videos that there's a separate IGTV app that you can download. It's not a requirement, only unless you want to start uploading larger videos from your phone, I believe. But the good thing, one great thing about IGTV is it's the only place on Instagram where you can upload content, I think, from your computer, which is where, so if you have like a really large sized video that you want to upload to IGTV, it's a lot easier to do it from your desktop or your laptop computer rather than from your phone.
Yes, yes. And one thing that I forgot to mention is the maximum length for an IGTV video is 60 minutes. So like we're talking some serious opportunity for some legitimate like film and television production here. All right, and then last but definitely not least is the Reels and everything. So this is the newest feature. This is Instagram's answer to TikTok. Interestingly enough, they've got a really cool partnership going with TikTok where TikTok users can post their TikToks on Reels now, which I think is a really interesting strategy because ultimately Instagram is trying to like slowly push TikTok out of the way so that they can take over. So it's interesting that they're kind of buddying up for the moment. Reels are definitely less formal than IGTV, but the premise is the same. So it's about sharing like exclusively video content, often with a higher production value, just in the sense that there is in-app editing capabilities. So you can really kind of turn your Instagram reel into its own production, essentially. The thing about Reels is it behaves differently. So again, it's modeled, it's a carbon copy of TikTok. So it doesn't behave the same way as Instagram stories or IGTV. Like it serves a different purpose. So specifically that purpose relies a lot on running on viral trends, challenges, and essentially the flavors of the month. That's the thing about Reels is you've got to keep on top of the trends. If you're posting something that just like is a bit tone deaf, like doesn't kind of fit the mold of what's going on in the TikTok/Reel world, REEL, not REAL world, then yeah, you're just kind of not really playing the game that is out there for people to play. Now, why Instagram Reels? Well, Reels are very easy to get consumed in. Similarly with stories, basically like the behavior of users is changing and people are really craving that kind of like constant stream of just video content, especially now when so many people are stuck at home and everything. Like there's less traditional entertainment available to a lot of people. So that's why they're turning to these other sources of entertainment. Reels are very new, and so therefore for businesses, there's a great opportunity to kind of get in there on the ground floor and corner a niche, especially here in Canada. For the most part, like Canadians kind of are late adopters to most new technology and stuff because like a lot of it, especially with something like Instagram, a lot of it doesn't necessarily originate here, right? Like it's originating elsewhere in the world, and we're kind of later to the game to begin with. So with that being said, I would definitely encourage you to just sort of hang out on Reels for a little while, just see what's going on, see if it resonates with you, and see if you can find opportunities to leverage it for your business. The answer could be no, like it could just be, you know what, this doesn't work for me, and that's okay. But I think that there is a lot of opportunity and a lot of really great potential for businesses to really stand out from the crowd and make this new feature really work for them, particularly if your target market skews young. So similarly to what I was saying about Instagram emerging because young people wanted to get off of Facebook, that's happening again. So now everybody's moved to Instagram. So then TikTok emerged because all the kids were like, parents, get off of my feeds. I don't want you watching what I'm doing with my friends. So that's how TikTok came to be. And now Reels is kind of adopting that as well and giving people a new outlet within the app. So yeah. Okie dokie. E-commerce and Instagram. So you have a few different options here. You have shoppable posts. How do you know if if a post is shoppable? You'll see that it will have the little shopping bag, that the icon that you're seeing on the screen right now, that appears in the corner of a post. That's how you know, oh, I can buy something from this post that I'm seeing. There are also the 3 little dots. so on some posts, you'll see that beside a product or something, there'll be 3 little dots on that post that you can click on and then purchase from there. There are bio links. So within your Instagram profile, you can keep updating the one bio that's there. So if you've got a new product that you're really pushing or whatnot, then you can have that link there. You can also create a link tree, which is an opportunity to have multiple links featured in your bio without like going over the word count and everything. I've never used a link tree, so I can't really speak to setting those up on a personal level, but I know that they're super useful and lots of people use them. IG shops. So as long as your business account is enabled, and also a creator account as well, which is something that I learned when I was filming all the like tutorials for you guys or you folks. Yeah, so essentially you can create a catalog within Instagram, and it can be linked through Shopify, WooCommerce, a couple of other options there, or it can just be linked directly to your website. So yeah, it's not actually that difficult to pull stuff over, and then that way, anytime that people are checking out your stuff, then they can go to your Instagram shop, which will then redirect you to wherever your e-commerce platform is. Swipe ups. So this is a feature specifically within stories. So you'll see with large brands, they'll often like advertise their new product, and then it'll say like swipe up to save 20% or something. And so then you literally just swipe up on your screen, and that's going to take you to your checkout window or the catalog window, whatever they've set it up to. And then finally, Instagram checkout. So this is the newest feature. It's very, very exciting. It cuts out that middleman. So with the IG shops and the shoppable posts, currently how it has been working is that when you click on those products, whatever you're interested in, you're then redirected to the vendor's site, and then you proceed from there. And that's all well and good, but what happens if the connection isn't very strong, as then people are waiting? Well, they're going to abandon that purchase. They're not interested in waiting around for the screen to load, right? There's a lot of opportunity for people to just kind of drop off. With Instagram checkout, it's a really cool opportunity where you click on the product that you want, and it takes you immediately to that purchasing thing. So more like an Amazon kind of setup versus kind of being bounced around and redirected where you need to go. Yeah. So yes, most of these features are available to everybody. Some are restricted. Swipe ups in particular, they do require a minimum of 10,000 followers, and Instagram checkout is being rolled out in stages. So if you currently don't have access to Instagram checkout, it should be coming through, / I'm sure if you just do a little bit of digging or search for it and figure out how to enable it, if you're not being prompted right away, it could just be that you're just not quite in the stage that's being rolled out yet. They're just doing it gradually, that's all. Now, here's the thing. If you are scrolling around your Instagram profile and you're like, I don't have any of these options. What do you mean? I can't add a shop. I can't add products. I don't have the option to do any of this stuff. Don't panic. It probably just means that your account is not set to either a business or a creator account. It's probably set to a personal account. And as I mentioned, I have a tutorial in this presentation that's going to show you where to switch all of that on and off. It's really not a huge daunting process. It's pretty simple to do. But if your account is set up as a personal one, then no, you are not going to have any of these options. And so none of these things will be available to you, but it's easy to enable. The other thing that I read about when I was looking into this is if you do have a business account set up, or you do have a creator account and you're still not seeing it, like these options are just not available to you, it could be that you're working with an earlier version of the app. So consider downloading the newest version, and then those updates should be there. Sometimes Instagram just gets kind of stuck a little bit. So yeah, those are the workarounds for that.
Just two questions here I wanted to address. Michael asks, just is the presentation available? And yes, we will, before we wrap this up, make sure that we share a link to the PDF presentation. I just need to make sure that I do that, but we'll share that before the end of the presentation. And then Grant asks, IG checkout, does Instagram take a percentage of sales when a user purchases from the app? That's a good question.
That's a good question. I don't have the answer to that myself. I didn't even think to look at that. I'm not sure. I don't necessarily imagine that it would, because it's still linking to all of your, like, to your e-commerce platform and everything, right? Like it's just kind of building a workaround into that. But yeah, that'll have to be if someone else can look it up, or or if I can follow up with you after the fact on that, because I don't know for sure. Alrighty, and now the 10 steps-ish to growing your account. So number one is be very clear on your value proposition. So again, know why your account exists, know who you're trying to target, and what value people should be getting out of your account. Complete your bio in full. I will show you how to do that. Add hashtags to all your content. Again, if you're putting posts out there without hashtags, you're really just kind of leaving followers on the table. Post regularly. It works with the algorithms to really be adding to your account regularly. Monitor relevant hashtags so that you can then adopt those trends for yourself. Jump on trends. There's nothing wrong if somebody's found something that is really resonating and taking off with an audience, and that audience is the same as your audience. There's nothing wrong with adopting that for yourself. Follow for follow. So especially if you are really new to it and you're just trying to like get some traction, anytime someone follows you, follow them back. It's good. It's just sort of like good manners and everything, but it also exposes you to more and more people. Experiment with all facets of the platform. So we talked about all the features that Instagram has. So you certainly don't have to be doing all of these things, but you can sort of dabble in each of them and figure out, okay, you know what, this one's hitting a lot better than this one, so I think I'm going to devote more time and energy to it. Engage frequently. Engagement is a great thing. Respond to all comments left on your posts and things. Scroll through and like other people's stuff, comment on other people's stuff. That just populates the app with you and your contributions more. And then utilize the insights, which I'm going to get to in a moment. Okay, so here's sort of the practical thing. So here we go, me exposing myself. So everybody follow at Quarter Century Theater, because if you don't, oh my goodness, I'll be so sad. All right, so on the left, we've got the upper half, so kind of the calling card of your Instagram page. So you can see that I have a profile picture there, and you can see that there's the little plus button there. If I click on that plus button, that's how I can add to my stories. So that's where the stories kind of live, and that's where you can get them up there. You can see the number of posts, the number of followers, and the number of people that you're following. You see that I have my name. I'm choosing to keep it as my name because my account serves a very specific purpose, which is letting people into my life and what I'm doing as an individual artist. You can absolutely have that as your company's name, like your business name. The artist thing there, you have an opportunity when you're setting up your Instagram to list your profession essentially, or list how you would like how you would like to be labeled. And then there, actor, writer, director, visit my site to see what I'm up to. So that's my bio. So mine is very, very brief. You do have more opportunity to add to it if you like, but the point is I'm telling people who I am so that they understand who I am and what this account is for. And then there's a call to action there. Visit my site to see what I'm up to, and there's my site. There, you can see that there's an edit profile button, so you can go in and change your profile by clicking on that button. Promotions, that's where you can start getting into more like paid advertising and boosting posts, all that sort of stuff. Insights, that's where you go to check out how your account is performing. And then contact, so you can add a phone number, an email address, and I think something else, but I can't remember. But anyway, so that's where you can add that. Those two circles there, Zcam's day off and Saturdays in LA, those are my saved highlights. So I created stories from adding to the plus button beside my face there. And then there were a couple stories that I really liked that I wanted to highlight and give more longevity to. So I saved them to those highlights, which I titled that way. Then what you're seeing on the right is the bottom half of that screen. So it's the exact same screen that I'm on, it's just the other half. This is my feed. Now, as you can see, I'm breaking all the rules. Nobody knows what my account's for. That's okay. As I said, my account's being used for a very specific purpose, which is letting people into my life and all the crazy things that I do. So there are cute pictures of me and my boyfriend from New Year's Eve. There's me recording a voiceover under a blanket in my office, my journey to become Captain Green Thumb, some monologues that I recorded. I believe that next one is a video of my dog doing something hilarious, me using a 360 camera, me on set. No, I didn't actually get burned. That's all special effects makeup. And the list goes on. So that's kind of the snapshot that I want people to see on mine. Next up. All right, here's how we can go in and change some of those account settings. So if I go into the edit profile button and everything, that's where you can see I can change my name, I can change my username, update my bio, all of that sort of stuff, change my category, anything like that. And then over here, this is where I'm showing you guys how to switch to a business account if you are not there already. So I click on the three dots, I go to settings. I'm going to show you just kind of all the things that are available in a second. I just kind of scroll through. You can see that I've linked my account to Facebook, which means that all of my posts are cross-posted to Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to go to account. This is where I can change all sorts of different stuff. And then there we go. It's as simple as that. Switch to personal account or switch to business account. Mine is a creator account. So I can switch to business account. I just hit switch. I did not do that because I don't actually want to switch my account. And then same thing, I can switch to a personal account, and it's just that easy. And you can keep switching back and forth as many times as you want. Like it's pretty low risk that way. All right. Next up. Here is kind of a video that I did showing you guys how the feed works, and yeah, so we can just start playing it. So here I am on my Instagram homepage. Now you can see I'm seeing all the content that all the people I'm following are producing. So there's a post from Gibson & Co. with a caption. Here are some people that Instagram is suggesting I follow just based on, I don't know, the people I already follow and people who are close to me. I'm following New Yorker magazine, and I decide that I want to check out all the comments. So there we go. Then we can see, and I can add my own comment or reply to other people's comments if I want. There's that engagement piece. And I keep scrolling down, and I'm going to find in a second a paid promotion. So, oh, now I don't follow Honeybook. I don't even know who they are. This is a paid promotion that they've set up. They have a call to action that is learn more. And you can see that they've designed it very much to be an ad. So I'm going to click on it just for the sake of it, and then get spammed by Honeybook for the rest of my life. And here we go. Oh, there we go. So if I click on the learn more, it's taken me, Honeybook has set it up that I'm going to go to this place. And now I'm learning, oh, this is the promotion that they're offering. Now, for the sake of it, I'm going to visit Honeybook's profile to show you guys a different kind of profile and bio. Oh, and they've got the learn more button there, so that's good. So that's their feed, right? It tells a very different story than mine. You can see all their highlights. You can see that you can contact them and message them if you want. And you can see that they have a pretty good bio. So there, that was me clicking on the message button if I wanted to get in touch. So yeah, that would be the feed in action and what a paid promotion slash what your feed looks like, what your feed posts and your feed looks like to other people, to visitors. All right.
We just had one quick question here. Eden asks, I want to link my Facebook page, not my Facebook personal profile, to her Instagram. Both are accessed through the same sign-in though. I'd say yes. So yes, they are both through the same sign-in. You can, there's a couple of ways you can link the two. You can do it from Instagram, and typically when you sign in or you connect to your Facebook, it will ask which page, if you are a administrator of multiple pages, it'll ask you which one you want to connect to, and you can only connect one. So yeah, you can do it that way. You can also do it from your Facebook page in the admin settings on that side. If you still have trouble, that's a great reason to consult with your digital service squad. We can sit down and walk you through the process and do it with you via virtual video call.
Yeah. All right. And next up. So now this is me showing you guys a little bit about stories and highlights. So I am sharing that one highlight just to show you guys this is what a story looks like. So this is what you can kind of do and what they're designed to do. This just happens to be a story that I have saved as a highlight. So here I am on my thing. Takes me back to living in the hills and getting to hear people play guitar and just be really cool artists 100% of the time. It was so cool. So that's me clicking on the plus button. The screen comes up and it's going to show you all the media that I have on my phone. I chose this photo of my cat because why not? And then this is some of the cool stuff that you can add. So I went to the GIF one, or GIF, however you want to pronounce it. Randomly searched cat, found a picture of my cat exactly rocking out. And then I think I add, yeah, so I'm gonna at someone. So I'm basically mentioning another account, and naturally I would mention Be Fresh Media. If I wanted to, I could add music. That's a really cool feature. I didn't for this post because I didn't want to run into any copyright issues for posting to the YouTube channel, but that is an option. And you can see that there are all these other things. So there are the stickers, you can add polls, quizzes. A bit further down when we get there, your entire emoji keyboard comes up. And of course, you can add just regular text and write whatever you want. For the purposes of this post, I believe I added a quiz, really just a groundbreaking quiz. How cute is my cat? So I'm just like adding all this stuff in. When you are creating a quiz or something like that, you have the option to set the answer that you want. Never been cuter. And obviously C is going to be the right answer to that one. So how did I set that? I literally just pressed on the C. And then I can resize it, add it there. And now I have options. So I can post it, as you can see, to my stories, and that's my Instagram and my Facebook, or my close friends. So if I wanted to, I can have a separate story list available that is just explicitly for kind of like friends and family, or I don't necessarily want it to be seen by everybody. And you can set those preferences right in the app. All right. Now, Instagram direct messaging. Again, I'm trolling Ben at BeFresh Media in this, but I want to show you direct messaging is kind of like one of the unsung heroes of Instagram for business. So there's quite a bit of integration in there. And so I'll just show you what's going on. So here I am on my homepage, and I'm going to click on my little message button. And look, it comes up the same as Facebook Messenger, right? It's basically the same sort of purpose. And yes, Buff Dudes did message me, which was really cool. They're a huge account. So if I wanted to have a conversation with Ben, I'd open BeFresh Media and type what I want, or check this out. I implemented a quick reply or an instant reply. So I'm going to show you what I did in a second. So if I hit the plus button and then that little dots, those are the saved replies. So you can see that I added something. The code is attention. For this one that I'm setting up, I'm choosing new client. And now every time I type in new client, this instant message is going to come up. And I just have it as, thanks for following this account. Check out our website. Why is this important? Well, every time you get a new follower, or every time someone messages you or something, you can have a bunch of these saved replies set up to kind of drive that sales funnel or start that conversation and make sure that it's kind of pre-packaged and ready to go. And subscribe to our, our newsletter. I was like, what did I tell them to do? I don't even remember. All right, so now I'm not going to say that because I don't actually want that saved reply, but you would just click save and then you'd be good to go. So now, as you can see, I've got the attention one there and whatnot. So that's a really cool function. It makes direct messaging more efficient, and it means that you really can kind of like establish a clear voice and clear message that you want expressed to all of your new clients or all of your new customers, whatever you need for your brand. All right.
Just one question. Is there a notification for just messages?
Yeah. So if there's a message that comes up, you're going to see like a little dot with the number of messages. So for me, it's always just one, but that's okay. For lots of other people, it's lots more. But yeah, it will show you basically every time you sign into Instagram that will come up beside your little message or messenger icon. You can also set up all your notifications within your device. So if you want push notifications from Instagram sent to you, then you can set that up however you want. I used to have it set up that I would be notified for everything, and I got so annoyed with it that I turned them all off. But you could have that enabled. All right. And next.
Oh, sorry. Monica asked, how do you find messages again?
So on the homepage of your feed, there are three little icons. Let me just pull it up so that I have them all right. So you're going to see the plus button for adding adding to Instagram. You're going to see the heart to show you your likes and follows. I have 4 more. I'm assuming those are all from this webinar. So thank you all so much. And then beside that, there's a little messenger icon in the right hand corner. And then here is Instagram shop. So again, because I don't have a shop, so I can't show you, I just can't show you that on my account and everything, but I can certainly show you what it looks like from a consumer's point of view and how users are using the Facebook shop option. So here I go. You see the little shop thing. You can see that I highlighted that on the bottom right. You can see that there are catalogs that have been designed for me, / it's showing me like the people that I follow, what their catalogs are. It's showing me a lot of what's available and kind of like highlights or what people are currently featuring. I can browse the shops. So these are all shops that I follow by virtue of the fact that I follow these Instagram accounts. I clicked on off-season 18 just because, and I can see their whole catalog here, which is really cool. And I clicked on this t-shirt. And so if I wanted to buy the shirt, then I would just go to view on website, and it's going to take me to that. Oh, and I can, oh, right, yes, I can save it. That's what I'm showing you. If I was interested in the product, but I didn't want to buy it right away, I can save it there. So then I open up this catalog, and hey, look, I've been taken to Off Season's e-commerce platform. So that's how the shop works that way. Then I believe I show you, I checked out this thing. It's really kind of cool. The editor's picks. So they're starting new things where they're kind of like, Instagram itself is kind of putting together like shopping bags for people, which is kind of interesting. So I clicked on the organization edit because I kind of like organizational stuff. And look, all of these things have been basically curated for people who are interested in these types of products and everything. So that's a really interesting feature as well. And I believe that's all that I show you from this. Yes. Cool. And that's an excellent picture of an excellent dog. And then finally, this is the promotions and insights. So here we go. This is in the back end of your Instagram. So how we get to it is this. I'm going to click on insights, so that middle button. And look, it's showing me who my audience is, what is performing well for me, kind of what's going on. I can set it to the last 7 days or the last 30 days to show me the greater trends and stuff. That's all the content that I shared. So if I clicked on any of those posts, it would show me the individual metrics. This is showing me my account growth over the last 30 days, where the people are coming from, what their age range is, the gender breakdown. And then this is really cool. This will show you on the bottom here, this shows you when your audience is most active. So you can go by hour or by day. So right now I'm showing you Tuesdays. And then if you tap on it, it'll actually show you the numbers, like the actual numbers of people and everything at any given time, which is very, very cool. So if you're at the stage where you're wondering, okay, well, when should I start posting? Like, does it make a difference? Yeah, all this information can show you that. And then this is, so if I wanted to promote a post or something, this is where I'm going. So this is basically showing me all the stuff that I have posted, and it would give me options to boost those stories or boost that content and actually make it a paid promotion. I'm not going to do any of that in this tutorial because I don't want to promote anything. But same thing, so I can get to it also by clicking on that promotions thing. So that would be the left-hand button on your home screen. And then this shows you the past promotions. So if I wanted to, I could go back and revisit all of those insights of what I'd done in the past. So yeah, that would be that. And I think that's it. That is it. Whew, that was a photo finish. All right, we went a little bit over time. I do apologize for that, but I hope you can understand it's a huge platform to try and cover in only an hour. So yes, that, let's see what's going on in the chat and everything. Oh, no, that's all good. What would be a reason for an item to not be approved in a shop? One of the people asks. SBEC team would like to answer this question live. So go ahead. Or was that's, oh no, I'm going to answer that question live. Okay, sounds good. That's a great question. I mean, if it's something that's grossly inappropriate, like if it's promoting something that Instagram maybe deems unsafe or you know, violates their privacy policies or whatnot, then that could get something flagged. Personally, I haven't heard of anything like any just sort of regular standard product being denied. The only thing that comes to mind is perhaps if your e-commerce site isn't actually compatible, like if there's like if Instagram's kind of trying to register the product, but the information isn't there, like they don't know how to help you sell it, like maybe it's just you have information about it, but it's not actually shoppable like within your store, that could be something. But personally, I haven't heard of that before. They would need to review the guidelines or response from, yeah, and that's it too. I mean, if something gets flagged, then Instagram will give you an explanation for that, and they'll let you know about it. What about partners? I'm not sure what that means. Like, do you mean like branded content? We'll all wait with bated breath. Because I don't know exactly what that means. Oh, go away, Cortana. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing clarification. How do we share management of account? Great answer. Essentially, as long as the login information is shared, basically anyone can log into that account and everything. Like that's why it's important to make sure that your passwords are secure and stuff. But like I manage social media accounts for other businesses in the area, and there's no issue with me accessing that account and the actual business owner accessing that account. It's pretty easy to manage. Okay. Oh, can you have different? That's a great question. No. So the question is, can you have different levels of management, like owner, editor, etc.? So that's very much a Facebook page kind of thing. There are not different levels of ownership within Instagram. So as long as you have the login information for that account, you can see anything and everything that's going on. You can post, you can reply to comments, you can look at insights, you can create paid promotions. There isn't kind of that extra level of like delegating or assigning different levels of ownership. Okay. Well, I think that's more or less it. Yes, I don't want to keep anyone on for any longer. I know Ben can't really talk. Karen, was there anything else that you wanted to add before we signed off? I don't want to run too far over.
No, I don't think so. I think you covered everything, Rochelle. It's awesome.
Thank you. I'm gonna go have a nap. All right. Well, thank you guys. Oh, do we have maybe one more? Oh, thanks. Great presentation. Oh, thanks, Elijah. So yes, as a final call to action for everybody, if you haven't yet, please follow @QuarterCentury on Instagram. I would really appreciate it. It would be great to be connected to you all. Thank you so much for your time today. And we will see you next week, where we're definitely doing another webinar on something. I don't remember what it is at the moment, but it's definitely going to be great. Does anyone know what the next webinar is?
Oh dear.
It's on Facebook Business Manager. Fantastic. Thank you so much. It's on Facebook Business Manager, which is a wonderful, wonderful world. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.